fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
All right, so we are back with another home theater hangout. How's the audio?
Audios. There we go. We're on.
Oh, very strange. Okay. Should I start that again for you? Let's start this one.
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
Okay, here we go. No? Did that not come through? I don't know why the video pops up in this little window, but all right, let's wait for some of the folks to come in here. We got a few people in, but guys, tonight, welcome back to another home theater hangout with myself and Mr. Teo. What's up, Teo?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. Shane, it is great to be here with you tonight. I can't wait to talk about tonight's topic.
Yes. Obviously, we can all see that you're a huge comic book fan.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So we had a pretty good stream the last time. We did our what did we do? Our 5 best movies? Oh no, 5 best demo movies.
Yes.
So that was pretty good.
That was great.
So tonight we are going to do the definitive list. This is the list. It doesn't matter any other lists out there. Doesn't count. These are the 5 best and worst comic book movies of all time. Teo has his own list. I have my own list.
And it'll be interesting if the two actually meet.
We shall see. We shall see. But since you are the guest, actually, let's just lay out some rules here. So this doesn't have to be like, normal. It doesn't have to be only from the Marvel era, current Iron Man on up, 2008 on up. But this can encompass any movie in the comic book genre. And it doesn't have to be in 4K. It can just be like any movie in general. I'm sure there's going to be some deep cuts that you might have for me. Maybe I'll have something for you.
You might. And I have my ground rules are a little different, maybe, like we talked about, is I limited my best and worst movies to stuff I actually saw or that I've tried to see and I couldn't get through. So,
right.
I'm not just going to go to, I think some of these lists just go to Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what the worst score is and rank them. So that's not what you're going to get from me or from us. So maybe some of the movies that you were hoping won't be there, or maybe something will be unexpected. So I think it's going to make for an interesting show.
Yeah, I think some of the more recent hated comic book movies that came out within the last 4 or 5 years, even though they were hated amongst people, I think you all know what they are.
Yeah.
I still find them watchable. But there are just those movies that you just can't watch again.
Yeah.
But since you are the guest, we'll kick it off for your number 5. Teo, what is your number 5?
All right.
Worst.
So
Wait. Should we go worst or best first? What?
I kind of think we should go with worst first because it's more fun to bag them. How's that?
All right.
So I already see it in the chat. Yes, Madam Web, Craven, all of those I totally agree with. But in terms of movies that I've tried to watch and just turned me off, I would say that I would have to go with my number 5, which is, and where did my list go? Number 5 is Thor, Love and Thunder, the 5th worst of all time. And I will tell you why I said it. To me, Thor, Love and Thunder is the MCU equivalent of Star Wars Episode 8. I refuse to believe that the movie exists, that it's canon in the MCU. And the reason why it made my list, and you'll see my thinking in some of these, is I think it's one of the greatest disservices that Marvel has done to a character in a storyline in the entire MCU. So as a comic book fan, I collected...
Uh-oh, you just froze.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. All right, I'll edit it together. Go ahead.
All right. So for those of you who may or may not be familiar with the Mighty Thor series, it talks about Jane Foster becoming Mighty Thor. And what's really amazing about the storyline is it has this very serious overtone that every time Jane Foster becomes Thor, it progresses her cancer that she's dealing with. So it's a pretty serious storyline. It has some amazing themes and undertones of the balance of power, the sacrifice that you make, how that, and in her case particularly, sacrifices her life, and all we get is fat Thor in this. So it was an abomination to me. I hate it, and I will never watch it again. There you go.
Okay. So that is your number 5, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm if Chris Hemsworth or Natalie Portman ever see this, I love you guys, and this is like my biggest disappointment. So if you ever wanted to razz me, get me a signed poster of Love and Thunder. I'll actually put it up in my theater as a joke.
Okay. Well, it's not my number 5. However, my number 5 worst comic book movie of all time would have to be a movie that came out during the pandemic. One of the first big movies to come out during the pandemic that was also shot in IMAX. Supposedly, we were supposed to get an IMAX version of it. However, there was like maybe 2 scenes that were bookend at the beginning and at the end. Came off of one of DC's biggest box office hits from the Snyderverse era, which is Wonder Woman 84. The biggest turd movie. The biggest turd. I remember staying up for this at like 3 a.m. on Max, HBO Max at the time, and it was the absolute worst thing. I was like, how did you come from Wonder Woman to this? Patty Jenkins dropped the ball on this. Actually, I think Zack Snyder may have helped write the original Wonder Woman, and I don't think he had a hand in the second one. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in chat, or maybe you know, Teo. But my God.
Right? And then the branding, the advertising campaign for it was fantastic. And I was totally psyched. And I agree.
Yeah, one of the worst. It didn't even sound good. I figured, hey, maybe we would get some really good Warner Brothers audio. It wasn't even that great either. So huge letdown. And of course, I was waiting for the IMAX stuff. I think just that little gymnastics thing they were doing at the beginning of the movie, and then the scene with Linda Carter at the end, I think, were the only 2 scenes that were in IMAX, and they lasted for just a couple minutes. That's it. Oh my God, what a horrible movie. I watched it when it first dropped at 3 a.m, and then again I had to do the review on it, which was painful as well. After that, it was just erased it from my memory. Gone. Totally gone. That's my number 5.
One. That's a worthy one. All right, so you want my number 4?
Let's go. Number 4, Teo.
Theatrical release of Justice League. So let's be clear. Theatrical release of Justice League. What DC allowed to happen with the Justice League is absolutely unforgivable. This movie's awful. It's bombastic. It doesn't do any justice whatsoever to what Zack Snyder's vision was, and I hate it. It's one of the only movies I've ever fallen asleep in the movie theater watching and couldn't wait to get out. And if I had not gone with one of my kids, I would have walked out. And I don't know that I've ever done that in a movie before. Hated it.
I remember I went out, paid for my IMAX ticket. I was so amped. I was going to go watch it with my daughter at the time. On the way to go pick her up, I was like, I'll watch it first. Let me just watch it first because she's coming out of school. So I'll watch it first. We'll go watch it again after school. I was like, Zack Snyder definitely didn't shoot that opening, did he? And then I was just like, oh my God. I was like, what is Batman doing fighting one of the parademons on a rooftop? And it's just the way it looked. It was really colorful. I was like, this is not right. And
and especially the fact that it's such a good storyline in the DC comics. That's the other kicker. And if DC had done nothing else but actually taken their animated version of this and made it into a live action, it would have been better. This is an utter catastrophe with what happened.
Yeah. So. Disappointment. Yeah. I concur. It's definitely a bad one. However, I could see myself still watching it again.
We'll talk about in the top 5 how we get redemption, but go ahead.
All right, the next one here. My number 4 worst movie that I will never watch again. Also comes from the DC era. She came from the Suicide Squad to get her own solo movie. It would be Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of the Birds of Prey. I don't even know. It's so long. I don't even know the full name of it, but Harley Quinn. What another atrocious movie. I mean, that was kind of tight. I couldn't figure out if it was going to be Wonder Woman or this one, but I think Obi-Wan made it a little bit more, what was his name, Black Mask or something like that? He was maybe the only redeeming quality in the movie. Just a little bit. But I don't know, she was like really kind of sexy in Suicide Squad. And then she went and lopped off all her hair. And then I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened. And then the rest of the team didn't really look like their comic book counterparts. Understand all the girl power and everything, but it just didn't work. It was so bad. Honestly, I can't even remember some of it. I can't remember half of it is so bad, but I know it was just just horrible. And I saw it at the movie theaters.
Oh, you did? Oh my!
I saw everything at the movie theaters. Yeah, I had to, of course. And I was like, oh God, I got to watch this again when I do the review. Jeez, it just didn't. Yeah, it just wasn't good at all. I'm trying to think if there was a good action scene in it. I don't think so. I don't think anything was redeeming about it. I mean, she didn't redeem herself in the Suicide Squad, but Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of whatever, or maybe it's Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I think that's
what it is. Okay,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, another huge letdown. I mean, this is already like Snyder was already gone, so this was just like, I guess they were just greenlighting everything. I think this was a story from, what's her name? Margot Robbie, right? She was like the producer on this or whatever.
We'll have to fact check that because I don't remember. I did not like anything about the look of this movie. I avoided it like the plague. So that's 2 hours I got back in my life.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No,
Oh
that one I avoided. I had a bad feeling about that one.
You should watch it anyways. Just get out of the way.
When you come over next
Just
time,
do
we'll
it.
put it on for 5 minutes, and then that'll be it.
God, I'll be snoozing in your seat. I'll be in the
funny.
second row, Tail.
So you want my number 3?
Let's go. You're number 3.
All right.
What do you got?
My number 3 is I can't figure out, and I hope Marvel gets it right. Fantastic Four 2015. What on earth was that? That's another one where I actually stopped watching it, which is uncharacteristic. So what I started doing is I started going, let me look at some of the critic reviews because they're just fantastic when they wreck it. So a poorly constructed, ineptly executed, flat-footed piece of branded product that plays as though it were written by a piece of software fed every superhero movie script to date and instructed to synthesize them. Even that's being kind. An utter catastrophe, total disservice to this epic superhero team and family. And I just think it almost was the result of why it's taken so long to get Fantastic Four back on track. Just very, very disappointed and frankly angry about this version. So that's my number 3.
This was the 2015 version?
2015. Yep.
With Ian Griffold and Alba?
No, it had.
Oh, the
Mara.
Jamie Bell. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awful. Just.
Oh man, I kind of forgot about that one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. However, I think if you were to just make it a sci-fi movie, like if you didn't link it to Fantastic Four, it might have been a better just like fantasy sci-fi movie.
Like from the 1950s. Maybe. and yeah, like Van Gool's right. It's like you kind of get like an interesting start, and then you're like, what on earth is this? So, yeah, horrible. Again, what did you do to just this iconic franchise and these iconic characters? The disservice that's been done is why it makes my my worst list.
All right, let's go. My number 3. If we're talking, we are number 3, right? Okay.
We're on number 3.
Okay, my number 3. Since we're talking about a disservice to the characters, I'm already a little upset about the fact that this guy's not like 5'2" or 5'4". He's a handsome 6'5" tall man with claws. But then they went and took the merc with the mouth and just shut his mouth up. It would have to be X-Men Wolverine Origins. My number 3 got to be one of the worst movies. Definitely number 3 worst movie. I mean, I don't know what they did. I mean, we wanted that Deadpool that we have now.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
He kind of started off that way. I was like, oh, maybe he'll get his costume at the end of the movie. Then I don't know. They sealed his mouth. What was that, man? They sealed his mouth. And was this the one where they had Gambit? This was, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Gambit was in it. Oh God. I mean, listen, I'm not hating his portrayal of Gambit. I thought it was okay. I mean, he did have the accent and he did the cards. So technically he was kind of comic book accurate. The Blob was also kind of comic book accurate as well. So Blob was in it. But yeah, just the whole thing, the whole team up, the whole premise of it was just bad, man. It was just horrible. And I think when this movie came out, there was a work print of it, which it was, it like leaked before it came out to the theaters. So it's like all the CG and everything like that was unfinished, and somebody from the studio got a hold of it and leaked it online. And back in those days, in my younger days, of course, I was pirating movies. So I was like, oh my God, they have a full resolution copy of this movie. And that, along with Revenge of the Sith back then. I do like Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
But that came out before the movie hit the theaters as well. But this was just, it was just bad. I mean, I saw it first, the work print, the pirated copy, and I was like, there's no way that this is the final version. There's just no way. I get it, the CG is not totally finished, but they're going to finish it. They're going to streamline it and make it a lot better, because it can't be this cheesy. And it was equally as bad, but just better looking.
Well, and to your point, it's, again, such an iconic character with Wolverine. You have all of these different dimensions that you could explore, right? Okay, living forever, all this thing with Sabretooth and the relationship with the brother. But the story just didn't do any justice to what the potential could have been. And that's, again, where I think the tragedy is. And thankfully, the latter renditions, obviously X-Men and some of the standalone Wolverines, were much, much better and redeeming. But this one, it's a stinker.
Yeah. They did bring it back around with Deadpool and Wolverine. So I'm glad to see that. Plus, he did get his mask in the latest incarnation. All right, what do you got for number 2, Teo?
For number 2, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. That, to me, is encapsulated by Danielle Solzman's review, Solzy at the Movies, where she says Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, is the single worst Superman film of all time. A disgrace to the franchise, its creators, and most of all, the audience's intelligence. And in retrospect, yeah, as somebody who I grew up watching the original Superman in the theater, Christopher Reeve was such a great epitome. I mean, he is Superman in so many different ways. And to see how this torpedoed everything. And, you know, then when you think of how great Superman, the original Superman was, Superman 2, and then things start to go south with Superman 3 with Richard Pryor, and then you get The Quest for Peace, and you're like, guys, did you really do this to one of the most iconic superheroes of all time? So, criminal what DC did with this.
Was that the one with the Atomic Man? Is that his name, Atomic Man?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
The moon, the whole, the UN, the whole 9 yards. So, another one that turned my stomach watching it. and I couldn't. It was a tragedy what happened. So Quest for Peace, shame. It should be thrown out.
You know, that was on my list. I think if we did a top 10, I think that would have made my list. But then I was thinking about it and I said, yes, the movie's bad, but it's one of those bad, I'll watch it again movies.
Okay, good luck.
I think because it has that nostalgia. It's like, I remember seeing it with my dad at the theater. So I was like, there's no way this is a Superman movie. Like, there's no
And the
way.
effects were cheap. I mean, it was awful in so many ways. Cheesy effects. Anyway.
It was, wasn't Richard Pryor was in that too, right?
Oh, Gene Hackman was back in Quest for Peace. So what an irony too, with this iconic actor who Lex Luthor, the great resume that he has, and obviously his passing. So I'm torn to say that, but nothing redeemed about Quest for Peace.
Yeah, he had the nails. He scratched them on the neck. Oh gosh, he gave him radiation poisoning. Oh, God. Okay.
What's your number? Number 2.
All right, my number 2. This could be a really tough. This could be a toss up. However, I'm gonna go. My number 2 worst movie, comic book movie of all time, would have to be. I think she came off of an Oscar to make this movie. I believe she was in Swordfish, and then she did Catwoman. But yeah, it's Catwoman, guys. Also starring Halle Berry and Sharon Stone. I mean, this was like just one of the worst CG fests ever. And CG back then wasn't even good looking. Aside from her outfit, which I'll give her a pass for the outfit. But God, I mean, I don't even understand what was the premise of the movie? Something about the makeup or something like that, or fashion or whatever. But this was just really, really, really bad. And yeah, the funny thing is that she got voted for the worst movie. That she won a Razzie that year.
Yes.
And she went to the Razzie Award show and actually accepted the Razzie.
Come on, you have to if you get a Razzie. You have to.
So I mean, good sport for her for doing that. But God, I mean, this was like prime time Halle Berry. This is like the height of her career, and she just like buried it doing Catwoman.
I agree. That's my number 1, Catwoman.
Oh, that's your number.
The single worst superhero movie of all time. And I think that there's a reason for it, is the disservice that this movie did to the legacy of the character, the complexity of the character, the relationship with Batman, especially in the comics that you have. And then you look at what a great Catwoman Michelle Pfeiffer was. Then you look back at Batman 66, and you look at the iconic actresses who also played that character and gave so much. Bad script. Halle Berry, an amazing actress. Look at what she did in the X-Men with Storm, if you want to put it back into the comic book genre. And again, very disappointing. DC, you guys have disappointed me so much in your live action movies. Your animated movies are amazing, but yeah, just a turd with this one.
Yeah, she was a Patience Phillips, a meek graphic designer who discovers a conspiracy within the cosmetics company she works for. So yeah, it did have to do with cosmetics. I knew it. Okay. It was so bad, I was just like, just a little piece stuck in my head. Cosmetics? I mean, really? Like, this was the story? So that was your number 1. Well, your number 5 is my number 1. This is just an absolute. I feel like this might be the turn of Marvel. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
It's just, how do you go from 2008 on, banger after banger after banger? Not that all the Marvel movies were my favorite, but I mean, they were just knocking $1 billion box office one after another. And then, I know a lot of people hated the Thor 2, The Dark World, that is my favorite Thor because it was like dark. It took place out in outer space. The Atmos is really good on it. Better sounding than the original ones. Better sounding than the sequels because they had that laser fight at the beginning of it. I don't know why people hated it because it was just so dark. There wasn't any comedy in it, I guess. But that's what I liked about it because it was a little bit more DC than Marvel. Then they went with Thor Ragnarok. I was like, they're really switching it up here. I was like, okay, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's kind of serious, but kind of jokey. But then he just turned it up to like 10. All the cheesy stuff that I hated in Ragnarok just amplified it. I mean, he's drinking with the axe, Stormbreaker, when he's having a relationship with Stormbreaker. I was like, come on, Marvel. What are you doing, man? From that point on, every Marvel movie just pretty much sucked. I mean, everything sucked. So I feel like that was the turning point.
I agree. I agree. And it's what you said. You look at the original Thor, and there's with Kenneth Branagh, and you kind of have this Shakespearean element to the movie where you have the theme of the prodigal son, right? And Loki is almost in some ways like the elder father who stays behind but doesn't become like the father. Like all these amazing themes that you can unpack. And then you get Thor Love and Thunder and you're like, what on earth is this? And it's almost like the beginning, like I said, beginning of Star Wars Episode 8, where you're like, okay, this has some potential. And then what? When they have the Oasis. Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, they had the they did kind of touch on, well, they did, right? She had cancer in the movie.
She did, but
Jane.
Yeah, she did.
But then she died. And then she went to Valhalla. I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna really make it serious. But then it's like, that should have been the movie. And then they totally just well, God, what's Christian Bale's character's name in it? Gore? His name was Gore, right?
Yeah, and it's different in the comic. That's the other thing. There's a different enemy in the comic. I just wish they had done the comic. So guys, if you hate Thor Love and Thunder, absolutely pick up Mighty Thor, the comic, read that, and see what the movie could have been. And you'll agree that this is just an abomination of what happened.
Absolutely. Oh, Haterade, what's up, Haterade? What about Madam Web? Listen, Madam Web might have been not so good, but I would still watch it again if I had to.
Would you really? That's another one. I didn't want to watch it because I just knew it was going to bomb.
It had some okay Atmos. The sound was kind of okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't good. But it wasn't any worse than anything else on our list. Because I would watch it again if need be. What about Captain America 1990 with Mark Salinger? And I believe he had the fake ears, the rubber ears. Do you remember that? But he was cool. He looked cool, though.
He looked cool, but it was apparently a bomb. I never saw it. So if I had seen it, then it probably would have made my bottom list from what I understand how bad it is.
No, I've seen it a few times, actually. I remember as a kid, because he looked, I would say, his costume, if I can remember correctly, I feel like his costume looked better in that movie than the first Captain America Avengers.
He had a little bit more baby blue in the 1990 version, I think, too.
Yeah, I mean, this came right after, I think, after Batman 89. So they were doing like the rubber outfit, the muscles and all that. But for whatever reason, I believe they gave him rubber ears. But aside from that, his costume was legit. It looked really good, I thought. And he fought the Red Skull in it for like a few minutes towards the end, I think. I think he tied him to a rocket or something like that.
Really? So you've seen it?
Yeah, I saw it a few times. I saw it a few times.
Impressed.
Yeah, I saw it a few times.
I'm Googling it right now, and I'm looking like, okay, the costume looks legit. He's got a pretty good, it's got a pretty good cover, too. But,
yeah.
All right.
That's it, 1990?
1990.
Yeah, look at that dude. He looks like Captain America. Look at him.
He does look like Captain America. But you're right. He's got the rubber Hermes ears going with that one.
Dude, he has the wings on his mask as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what I was hoping. Like, I hated Chris Evans' original Captain America outfit in the first Avengers. It was just they covered his ears.
And that, yeah, I
covered
can
his ears.
understand that.
However, he in the first Avenger might be the best Captain America outfit because of like all like paratrooper and everything. It was awesome. Yeah, that was the best one. Then it kind of went downhill from there.
So Mo's comment is interesting because I haven't done a whole lot of research on that, but that wouldn't surprise me that he wasn't a fan of the character and never read the comics, because Thor: Love and Thunder is like at that very edge of the chalkboard where you're like, okay, where's this going? And it gets pulled back. Where's this going? Then it gets pulled back. It never like puts 2 feet over the line. Whereas, yeah, Love and Thunder actually falls off the cliff on the other side.
Yeah. He just really, I think he just thought people really enjoyed the comedy in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And he was just like, let's just double down on it. When he did the split at the beginning of the movie, I was like, what are we doing with Thor? I was like, there's no way. This is the Norse god of thunder. He's doing splits. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a little funny, but I was like, come on, man.
I think this is the problem is, very well done comic book movies reach a level. And I think that's what draws the fan. I mean, we like good movies because there's something about the epic character of all of these themes. And then you get some of these writers and directors who have no appreciation for it, and they make it a disaster. It's like somebody writing for Star Trek that really has no clue about Star Trek. Then you know when that's the case. It doesn't feel right. Or you have somebody who writes for Star Wars and has no clue, and you kind of know when that happens. So,
yeah.
So those are my bottom 5, the bottom eaters.
Yep. This is the de facto standard, guys. Madam Web doesn't count because Madam Web is okay.
So we're going to go to our top 5 now, huh?
Let's go to the top 5.
Right.
You kick it off. Your number 5, Teo. Best movie of all time. Comic book movie of all time. Oh.
Snyder Cut. Redemption. So I really had, guys, I struggled with my top 5 because I like so much of this stuff. But here's what I ultimately decided. I watched it again, and the movie's beautiful. Like I really have to say, and especially when you take into account everything that happened to Zack Snyder personally, what DC ended up doing with the mess of Justice League, and the reaction of the fans to produce a movie that was coherent, that was well-paced. Okay, yes, it's long, but everything about it just feels right. And for that, I'm going to give it my top 5 because this was an epic lift. And Zack Snyder and everybody who came together, all the actors and the team, love it. Just love it.
Okay. I'm a fan of Zack Snyder's Justice League as well. My number 5. This guy, he made a series of movies, made 2 previous movies before this one. One of them, which was maybe my number 1 best demo movie from last stream that we did, which is Man of Steel. Then he followed up with Batman v Superman.
Yep.
Then with the outpouring of support he got from the fans during the pandemic, we got the most epic comic book movie ever. And if you have a Kaleidoscape, there is no break in the middle of it. You can just watch it straight through for 4 hours, which would be Zack Snyder's Justice League. Unlike the theatrical Joss Whedon version, this one is devoid of color, so it looks like it falls in with the rest of his other 2 movies. He did go 16:9, or my bad, he did go 4:3.
Yes.
Open gate, full-on IMAX aspect ratio. Unfortunately, none of our displays at home will ever really take full advantage of it unless we just have a really gigantic 4:3 screen at home. But he came through. I mean, he came through. Warner Brothers came through. I'm curious of how much money it would have made if they would have released it theatrically. So,
Right.
I guess we'll never know anymore.
We'll never know. And you know what is interesting? I don't know if you feel the same way. The black and white version, there's something mesmerizing about it.
I didn't see that much.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, when you come over, we'll put that on, but it's really, really well done. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
I do wish that the audio was a little bit better though. I feel like because he finished it at home, he probably didn't have his whole audio studio crew doing the audio. Like it was, I think it was locked in 7.1.2 layout, if I'm not mistaken.
We're gonna have to double check that. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna tell you on the box. It'll if you have a Trinov, you would know.
All right, sorry guys, I got my storm. So Shane and I have our little disagreement about the processors that we're going to use. I'm a Storm audio guy, and Shane's the Trinov guy.
By the way, they announced another Storm.
An upgrade.
Yeah.
From what? Yeah. So amazing. Again, what you pay for, parentheses, what you pay for with one of these high-end processors. So whatever Storm audio product you have, you get the new card, the upgrade, and you really maximize that, not having to forklift it. So really kudos to the Storm audio team and the Storm audio guys. Great stuff.
Oh, so it's a hardware upgrade.
Yep, it's hardware upgrade.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to buy a whole new unit.
No, and it's backward compatible. So even the first generation Storm you can upgrade, which is amazing. So new HDMI standards are going to be supported. You'll have, whenever that card comes out, they've got the new chip, the new decoders, and yeah, it's great. Good stuff.
Unfortunately, Trinov only gives you free software upgrades for their improvements. All right, so Teo, let's go to your number 4.
So
Best
my
movie.
number 4 is, I debated long and hard. So you can tell, like, I'm show and tell with everything here. I debated, we're not going to do animation, so that's out.
Oh. No, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Can't hear you. No audio. Can't hear you. No sound. We have technical difficulties here. Oh, now you're just totally frozen. Teo, no sound. Well, it seems that we have lost Teo. Let's see any comments here. Mo Silvac. It was too long for a theatrical release. It had 40 minutes of slow motion. Did it have that much slow motion? I don't know. I thought it went pretty quickly for my viewing. Would you sit in the theater for 4 hours for Justice League? I sat in the theater for 3.5 hours of The Brutalist, which was absolutely brutal. So I could definitely sit there for 4 hours for Justice League, which was far more enjoyable than The Brutalist. "100% agree on Justice League." Zack Snyder. What's up, Van Gool? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Teo's internet today. Love and Thunder, absolute garbage. Excelsior. Green Lantern. Listen, I've watched Green Lantern a couple times. I have it on 3D, so I've seen Green Lantern a couple times. Oh, here we go. Not yet. Give it a second. Maybe it'll kick in. Video quality looks good. Still can't hear you. No. We're going to hear you. Don't worry, I'm going to, just in case you don't stick around for the whole thing, I am going to edit this and add in graphics and stuff later. No. Oh, now you're frozen. Man. All right, what do we got here? I mean, I would kick it off. What did we end at? Number 5? Well, I'll wait for Teo to come along. Then we'll cut this down. What's going on, guys? Who has a Storm Audio? Who has a Storm Audio and who has a Trino? Anybody? Anybody? So coming up, I think tomorrow, if anybody's here not for movie stuff, I have a I think, what is it, KC92 review. Is it the KC or the KF? I think I did the KF 4 years ago. So the KC92 review should be coming tomorrow. So I took some measurements tonight, well, a little earlier. Afternoon, I took all the measurements. And then I'm going to be working on the rest of the review because I think I did the unboxing maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And I haven't gotten to the review yet. So I'm going to try to wrap that up. And then I have a review for the Martin Logan Abyss 8 right after that. So 2 small subwoofers, actually 3 small subwoofers. So the KC92, the Abyss 8, and then I have a Bucard subwoofer. I think it's got a single 10 in it. I got a black and white version, so they sent me 2 of them to show off 2 colors. So those are going to be the next 3 videos coming. They're going to be 3 subwoofer videos, and possibly the Electric State is dropping tonight midnight on Netflix. I've heard that it's getting a lot of bad reviews. However, I like the trailers. I have not read the book, but I do like the visuals on it. I like Millie Bobby Brown. I like Chris Pratt. And it does look good. It's from the Russo brothers. I liked the other Russo brothers. I mean, I did like, not 6 Underground. What was the other one they did? Not Red State. Red One? No, the one with The Rock and the one with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. I believe they did that one, right? Or maybe it was the other one with Gosling. Anyways, I liked both those movies, and I think the Russo brothers did one of those movies. I was a fan of them. I know everybody didn't like them, but if they're equally as entertaining as what I thought those movies were, I think I'll like Electric State, and I'm almost positive that the Atmos is gonna rock. Netflix always does great Atmos mixes, so I have no doubt that the Atmos is gonna be awesome. I mean, even Atlas starring Jennifer Lopez. If that audio was on disc, if that movie was on disc, it would get a 10. That is one of the most active Atmos mixes I've heard, and that is a Netflix movie. The movie wasn't that great. However, the audio was really good, and so was the Dolby Vision. The Brutalist is a fantastic film. Listen, if you want to pretend that you are a cinephile, yada, 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 and you like The Brutalist, feel free to like The Brutalist. But let's not pretend it was all that great. Let's see. I have a bottom tier setup, 65-inch Sony X900H Onkyo 7.2 Atmos, 2 Deftech 702 front towers with 8-inch subs and Yamaha surround speakers. Well, Mo, I have a pair of Deftech DM70s for sale, so if you're looking to upgrade your speakers or maybe get some new rear speakers, shoot me an email. Maybe we can work out a deal. I've been trying to sell these for the past year. Nobody wants to buy them. Uh-oh. Right when you zipped in, the audio worked for like a second.
So you can hear me now, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, now we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
So I have the curse of Doctor Strange, I think, because I dropped this right on my keyboard. It launched iTunes, and iTunes took total control of all my audio stuff for some reason. So I had to reboot. Sorry, dude, but
Okay,
I fixed it.
All right, so Teo, what is your fourth?
I had to do a Spider-Man movie, but it's this one, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Doc Ock. I'm not. Tobey Maguire isn't necessarily my favorite Spider-Man. There's something really special about this movie, end to end, thematically. The action is well paced, but again, it's Doc Ock. Enough said. That's it.
I thought about putting Spider-Man 2 on my list, but just didn't.
It's an oldie but goodie. I don't know. That's okay. That's okay. I love all the Spider-Man movies, especially the newer ones in the MCU. They were very worthy, but there's just something about this one that I had to put that one to the top. So that's it. You can criticize the selection.
Oh no. What happened? What's going on? Well, at least he got his number 4 in. Is your iTunes automatically launching by itself or something?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, there's something. So those of you who are Mac guys, there's something that keeps tripping my audio MIDI that is muting it. So you don't see it anyplace else except in the audio MIDI settings. So only a Mac geek would be able to figure that one out. So there you go.
You got it. All right.
Yep.
There you go. All right. So my number 4, best movie of all time. This is a movie that spanned several years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a toss-up between this one and Endgame. Ultimately, Avengers Infinity War won out and has taken my number 4 spot. The part where Thanos grabs the moon and throws it at Tony. I was like, are we doing this? I was like, yeah, we're doing this. And then he goes, you throw a moon at me again. One more time. I mean, one of the best battles ever, especially in 3D. If you see it in 3D with Atmos, man, that whole scene rocks. Just that first culmination of all those Marvel movies into Infinity War absolutely pays off.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You're going to be hearing me talk about it a little bit later on.
Oh, boy. So that is my number 4 best movie of all time. It also sounds really good as well. I know
Yes,
Marvel gets a bad rap for their audio. I feel like it went downhill after Endgame, but Infinity War sounds awesome. So does Endgame. Endgame sounds awesome as well. But yeah, I mean, my preferred way is 3D for that one. 3D with Atmos is my preferred way. 4K is not bad, but I mean, the part where Spider-Man is swinging through all the asteroids or whatever, crashing on the planet, and yeah, it's so good. It's the part where
on Titan.
Strange. Oh yeah, on Titan.
Yep.
Where Strange is kind of held captive, and he got those shards coming out at him when the Maw was going to like dissect him or whatever he was going to do. That 3D is awesome in that.
Is it
scene
real?
as well.
Okay, so now I'm gonna have to pick up the 3D version.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need to get it. You need to get it, dude.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, let's go. Number 3.
All right.
Best comic book movie of all time. The first Avenger.
Winter Soldier.
Oh, Winter
I
Soldier.
love this movie. Yep. That's my number three. I think that what Marvel did between Winter Soldier and Civil War is really fantastic. In so many ways, Captain America has been the conscience of the Marvel universe in so many ways. And it's ironic, like in the DC, you kind of get this balance with Wonder Woman and Superman in some ways in that regard, but Steve Rogers is always trying to do the right thing, and then to have to face Bucky as the Winter Soldier, to see the tension that causes within him, the way the movie is executed, it's beautifully shot. Absolutely, positively, that's my number three. Now, why not Civil War? You might ask. Is my only critique is, again, as a comic book fan, I think that Marvel, respectfully, missed a couple of really great thematic opportunities with Civil War, especially with the Sokovia Accords. The way that it's balanced between the two situations in the comic book, it actually starts with some superheroes who are trying to do a reality show, and they end up getting some people killed in Stamford, Connecticut, of all places. So that's why for me it's Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting choice. Interesting choice.
There you go. And I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Okay. All right. This was a toss up here for my number three. Okay, I'm going to go. This guy's already got a movie on the list. My number three. He did Justice League. He did my other two favorite movies in his Snyderverse. This one is the movie that kind of kicked him off to the masses. A lot of people has copied his style, his slow-mo speed ramp style. My number three is Zack Snyder's 300.
Ooh.
300. I mean, come on, man. This is Sparta.
Now you're speaking of my family roots, dude.
The
You don't know that.
The Greeks.
Yes, my family is from the mountains in Sparta. So
Yeah.
yes,
That. All right.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
I'm talking
yes.
about. Dude, that's like straight from the comic books,
Yeah.
right onto the big screen. The fight where that first battle where they built the wall of dead people. The speed ramps, the slow motion. Yeah, he took a little far in his later years, but I mean, this kind of just kicked it off. So many other people copied this after 300 came out.
Wow.
He shot everything on green screen.
Yeah.
It looks so good. I mean, still holds up today. One of the best Atmos mixes that you can get. The bass rocks in it. Visual style. I mean, he's a great visual director. This is definitely a standout movie. One of the best comic book adaptions out there. And just a fun kind of just... I don't think any of my movies really thought-provoking. I'm not sure, but this was a real kick-ass comic book movie.
I agree. You know what's amazing too, for those of you who want to be students of history, is how he weaves in some of these amazing aspects of ancient Greece. So when the Spartans would go off to war, the women would say to them, "Itania pitas," come back with your shield or on it. And those little elements are there in there, and basically from the battle at Thermopylae, that's really what it is. Thermopilas in Greek is the hot gates or the fiery gates, and you have all of this thing. Well, we're going to shoot our arrows at you. Well, we'll just fight in the shade.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
That's
great choice, dude!
Yeah.
That was good.
Really good.
I love it.
Great movie.
All right,
Let's go. You're number two. What do you got?
exactly what Craig said, baby.
Uh,
I have to. What Christopher Nolan did with the Dark Knight trilogy, it just is at a whole other level. I love Christopher Nolan, and once again, the ability to take what's in the comic book, take these amazing themes, bring them on stage, and bring it to the character. And especially when you have the thread of the League of Shadows throughout the entire trilogy, and how he brings it all together with Bane and with Ra's al Ghul's daughter at the end with that great reveal. Yeah, Dark Knight is absolutely my number 2. Doesn't get old. Perfect movie.
Are we talking about the second movie, not the third movie, not Rises?
I'm gonna bundle it, but I'm gonna say you really have to give the nod to Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Of the 3, I love them all, but Dark Knight's in a class of itself.
Yeah. They should just call
Sometimes
it.
people just want to see the world burn, right? And then we could unpack this for hours. Love it.
I wish they would have called it The Joker.
I'm surprised that didn't make your worst movies, but I know you like that one. But anyway.
I love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie. I thought about putting it on there, but I was like, eh.
So Craig, I got you covered
Okay.
with that one, baby.
Craig Osterberg. Okay, here we go.
There you go.
My number 2. Maybe the movie that kind of told the world the comic books don't have to come with shark spray. This is going to be 1989's Batman, starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. I mean, what more is there to say? I mean, this is we are now taking comic book movies seriously. It's got the gothic stylings of Frank Miller-esque visions. It's dark. It's got the Joker. It's got They got Jack Nicholson, like peak Jack Nicholson, to star in a Batman movie. I mean, how cool is that? Peak Kim Basinger to be in a Batman movie. Who would have thought Mr. Mom would be maybe the definitive Batman for a lot of folks? But he still killed it now in The Flash. He still kicks ass even in The Flash. I mean, super cool Batman. He might not have been like the big brawler that Ben Affleck was, but he was pretty svelte, pretty badass. And just the visuals, we got really gothic look that comes straight from the comic books. And I mean, the 4K, I think they changed a few things in the 4K. If I'm not mistaken, some of the machine gun sounds and stuff like that, but nothing really drastic. But yeah, 1989's Batman. I felt like the sequel and then the other, well, actually everything after that, it kind of just went downhill. But yeah, I feel like 1989's Batman is one of those movies I could still watch at least once a year.
It's great.
A great soundtrack too. Great soundtrack too from Prince.
Great. People might not remember, you mentioned it. Michael Keaton was a comedic actor. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of blowback in the comic book fandom when he was named to be Batman. People couldn't really wrap their head around it. And then do you remember when it came out? It was a different time in cinema. So you didn't have like these mega cineplexes of, 16, 20 movie theaters. So this was playing in cinema houses where it was 2 or 3 movies. It was so difficult to get tickets, and there were just lines and lines and lines of people. And it was, I think it was the first movie I've gone to where people clapped at the beginning of the movie. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Great. I still remember waiting in line with my fanny pack back in the 90s, back in 1990. My big Batman shirt. Looking all comic book nerdy. I mean, after that point, it's like you could be cool. You can like comic books.
Turn his head, remember? Like the way they had, he couldn't do certain motions because of the way the costume was. So they really had to invent a lot of these looks that you then get solved later on. But all right, that's a respectable choice. I got to give you 300 and Batman 1989. Those are good.
I guess we already know what your number one is, but go ahead.
You knew what it was going to be, right? Yeah. This to me it's something really special. Not Endgame. So I like Endgame, but to me, there's something amazing about what you get here with the Infinity War. Right from the get-go, there's a different sense of gravitas. There's a sense of despair, foreboding, this like inescapable sense of fate, and it's all supported with a really beautiful musical score as well. And you get all the complication of Thanos throughout, and he's a character where as a villain, he has this sort of moral or ethical stance which really has no basis at the end of the day, and how he's perverted his sense of love when he throws Gamora off for the Infinity Stone, when all of these different aspects happen, and then at the end when everybody starts to disappear and the movie ends. I remember sitting in the movie theater and going, oh my gosh, that's it. I said, this is this generation's Empire Strikes Back moment. I had exactly the same feeling when I saw Empire Strikes Back in the movie theater. And you're like, wait a minute. There's nothing else? It's over? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody got turned to dust?
Yeah.
I remember Empire Strikes Back too. I remember seeing that as a kid.
Yep.
With my dad. I was like, what's
That's what happened. People were stunned in the theater.
Oh, wait.
That was this generation's Empire moment.
Also Christmas 2003. I think it's 2003. The first Lord of the Rings movie. When they go over the mountain, they get to the top of the mountain. It was like credits. I was like, what's going on?
Right?
Like, what's happening here?
Great.
Okay.
So I love Endgame. I'm a big fan. I think it's a great culmination of the MCU. So hard to do what they did in that first segment, and then to really reach a pinnacle in that they met every expectation. So Love and Thunder, Endgame, got the extreme in the bookends.
All right, so I'm going to go. This movie came out when I was 2 years old. It was one of the most, I remember as a kid watching it, and he caught the girl falling from the helicopter, and I was like, oh my God, this looks like real life. How did they shoot this scene? Because he's flying up the side of the building, holding a girl in one hand, a helicopter in the other one. This is a serious special effect. When I was like a kid, I probably saw it when I was like 4 or 5. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I saw it a little later in life. But I was like, oh my God. 1978's Superman, the motion picture. Maybe it's the nostalgia, but, when you watch it, it starts off when he's in Smallville. So it's like this real... Well, it starts off where he's in, like, Krypton. So it's like this outer space comic booky type of thing, sci-fi thing. Then he goes on Earth, and it's like this beautiful vistas of, like, Smallville, mountains. It's got this really soft focus to it. So it's, like, a little dreamy looking, beautifully shot, family moment. Pa dies. You're like, oh, that kind of hurts a little bit. I remember when I saw that. His mom's old, has got the gray hair, overlooking the farm. I was like, Mom, I gotta leave. I'm going to Metropolis. I was like, how you gonna leave your mom? Your mom's like 80 years old. You're gonna leave your mom? But then he goes to New York. He goes to Metropolis, and it's like a whole different movie. It's like totally different. It's like straight up comic book now. We see Lex Luthor. We saw Ned Beatty's character in the subway. And then, we get the infamous helicopter scene, and I was just like, oh, shoot, this is like the real deal. This is like real special effects. I mean, I still think it holds up today. Some of the flying scenes, here and there, but for what it was back then, it still looks... When he's running across next to the train,
yes,
that still looks great. Still looks great.
Don't forget the John Williams score.
The score...
So
winner.
Good, right?
Classic. I hope. Well, I mean, they remixed it basically for this new Superman movie. I don't know if they're gonna put that in the actual movie, but for the trailer, it's mixed in there a little bit. So I mean, absolute classic movie.
Great.
I don't know how many people nowadays, like these guys watching it, if they're younger or what, would appreciate it, but just probably because of the effects and stuff. But For us older guys, I think we can appreciate the some of the nostalgia it brings, and basically, really taking comic book movies seriously until Batman came out.
That there was such a risk. Have you seen the Christopher Reeve documentary by chance?
Nah, I didn't want to get all like teary eyed, so I was like, nah,
So
let's skip that one.
I highly recommend it. And if you guys haven't seen it, because there's really Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, right, has become sort of inseparable. And I think Christopher Reeve as Superman is inseparable. And to see the impact of that movie, the impact of the character, and how it became larger than life. So, it established the validity of the comic book genre, which I think is really important to underscore, and then how he was able to manifest that in his life. The great score that we talked about that came with it, and the legacy that left. I don't think it can be overestimated the importance of that movie, and then the success of Superman 2 that followed along with it. Those were, couldn't agree more.
There it is, man. I believe, isn't there? There's like a Donner cut, right?
There is a Donner cut. I have it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the theatrical. What was so different about it? He shoots the gun, he catches it,
And it's very
or the bullet.
different. I haven't watched the entire Donner cut yet. I have it. I downloaded it. So maybe when you come over, we'll put it on and check it out. But very interesting. And Margot Kidder and all that. And again, Gene Hackman. So lots
Yeah,
to
Gene
like.
Hackman. Yeah,
Lots
classic
to like.
legends.
Great
guys-
list, man.
Well, guys, those are our picks for the 5 best and 5 worst comic book movies of all time. Do you agree with our list? Or do you think we're totally off base? Whatever it is, leave your comments down below and write your list down in the comments as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, so we'll edit that all together.
All right. Well, sorry about my bizarre audio issues now that I figured out what happened.
Yeah. So now we know. I didn't know it was like launching. I didn't know it was launching iTunes. I didn't think iTunes could do that.
Bizarre, but what it actually does is I notice it does it in my audio MIDI. The one thing about Superman, the original motion picture, have you watched it? Watch it again and look at the first time that he goes to Margot Kidder's apartment, right, to Lois Lane's apartment, and then when he flies off the balcony, it's one cut where he then appears at the door. There's no slice there's no transition. It's a single scene cut, and it just feels like it has an impact on you. So
Yeah, I gotta watch it again.
you got to watch that scene in particular, and you're like, "Holy crud, he's right."
It's funny because you watch the movie, like he's got the like the spandex suit on, but you don't really think about it. You're like,
No.
he's Superman. And then you see like all these guys nowadays, they got like the rubber suits and everything. And I'm like, okay, they're fake muscles, they look cool. But then he really pulled it off with the spandex. I don't know if you could do that now. Like, can you just wear spandex in a superhero movie now? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But I talk about it, just perfect cast, perfect in so many ways. That movie is special. So I thought about putting it in my top 5, and then finally I knocked it out. But I agree with you.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. I still watch it. It's weird sometimes. I'll just like throw it on. Not too often, but when I throw it on, I'm like, oh man, this is a great movie. It just brings me back to when I was a kid watching it. So
That score is the best. Like, I love what I hope they keep aspects of the score. I don't know what the licensing rights would be, but if you can make that bridge with the new one, and I love the way they kind of remixed it a little bit. They gave it a different tone and accent.
Yeah.
It's just so good. So good.
yeah. Hopefully the new one. When's it coming out? In June or July?
July, right? I don't remember.
Fingers crossed it's good. There's all these, all these news stories like test screening is bad. I mean, but then again, that happens like every movie. There was like the test screening rumors.
I can't wait for maybe one day DC and Marvel will figure out to stop thinking about what the superhero trends are. Good movies make a good movie. and people will come and watch it. There's so much great content in all of these comic book series. Like, I was going to think about putting Dark Phoenix on as one of my worst. And same thing is the Phoenix storyline is so good. And what a
was
mess
okay.
they made out of it.
I thought it was okay. Dark Phoenix.
I was
all right.
disappointed. Sorry, I'm being hypercritical. So,
Good picks, Teo. Take care.
oh, Jeffrey, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Jeffrey, why are you saying good live? See you in the next one, my guy. We haven't left yet, Jeffrey. We're still here.
Shane and Teo's hangout right now, just to continue talking about movies. But this was hard for me. I have to tell you. I thought, all right, when we talked the last time and the concept of how we would do the show, I'm like, okay, but I rearranged my top 5 and bottom 5 several times over the past couple of weeks. It was kind of interesting how my thought process evolved over time.
Well, I thought the worst was easy because it was like, what would I just not watch again? It's like
But that was a different criteria. Like for me is which movie did the most damage to the characters or right? Like that there's a whole other level that I kind of had to think through that was important to me for my bottom list. And when last time we talked, I told you I was going to have Thor: Love and Thunder at the bottom, and I finally decided against it.
Yeah, that's an easy pick. I mean, really, no, that's just That's just a horrible movie. I couldn't believe seeing that. I think I saw it twice.
Did you? And when you come over, show and tell. My Christmas gift.
What's that?
The Making of the MCU.
Oh, is that a movie or is that a book?
This is great.
Oh boy, look at that.
All right, so we got show and tell for everybody since we're still online. So it's 2 volumes.
Oh,
So look at that.
look at that.
And there you go. And it's intensely researched. And you have all the art. This is fantastic. And it goes all the way back to some of
Blade.
the early origins. Yeah, with Blade.
Blade almost made my list.
Yeah, on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like top 10, it would be in my top 10 for sure.
Look, it takes you year by year through the MCU evolution.
Yeah. It's funny because Iron Man was always like a B-level character.
Right? And
I don't know how they made him.
What does it take for them to realize you have to start with Iron Man because you've got to get to the Avengers? And if that was a misfire, the whole thing would have imploded. Because remember, Hulk came out first.
I like the Hulk, yeah.
And the Hulk wasn't bad.
Yeah,
but again,
that's
the
good.
whole concept of creating the franchise and then to create all those extra credit scenes and to create that mystery and weaving it all together was really great.
It's funny. I always liked Iron Man because there was a run by I don't know if you have any. Look at that.
This is beautiful. So well worth it.
There was this artist called I don't know how many comic books you have, but there's an artist called Will Portacio. You remember him?
Okay.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He's
Not at all.
I believe he's a Filipino artist,
Okay.
illustrator rather. He had a pretty good run of Iron Man way back in the 80s or 90s, and his style was like so good.
I may have some of his stuff because I remember I started collecting a series of Iron Man I don't remember which one, Mark whatever, and he went from the gold and red suit to the silver and red suit, and it was really cool, really well drawn. There was a good time in there where I collected some Iron Man comics.
This was about that time when they split. All those artists split from Marvel to start Image.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And that was also what's his name?
We had McFarlane.
Jim Lee.
Yeah, Jim
was
Lee.
among them, right? Oh my gosh! Talk about that was a good call.
Let me see. Let me bring up some images here. Yeah, this is one of them here. This is like before Iron Man was cool. Let me see if I can bring up that image. Let me share screen. I was like, oh man, I was really hardcore into comics back then too. Like I wanted to be like a comic book artist, and this guy was like,
I did too. It's funny you should say that. I didn't know that about you.
boom. Oh, oops, that's me. His stuff. Oh man, it's open up in the.
Now you
Gonna
paused.
Open up in a new window. Oh, where'd it go? So yeah, so he did like this whole run here. Can I zoom in on that?
I can't see. If
Oh, you can't see that?
the screen share, no. At
Really?
least for me, you're frozen. I don't know if the other guys can see you. There we go. Here it comes.
Oh yeah, so this is before Iron Man was like popular. This is 1997. Yeah, May 97.
Okay.
So this kind of style was like super cool. This is like a decade before the movie came out. Look at that. That's just badass. Look at that. That's so sick. Look at that. Iron Man and Doom.
Well, isn't that what we're going to start getting?
Yeah.
Right? There's comic book tie-ins to what we're going to be seeing.
Hold on, let me zip out of this. Yeah, so the run back in 1997. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, check that out. Just the art alone. Back then, I would never. Sometimes I would just never read it. I would just buy it just because I thought they looked cool.
Right.
Like, I would just flip through the book and be like, oh wow. And I'd be in high school. I'd try to copy this guy's style and everything. So
I would love to draw Spider-Man. That was my big thing. I was such a big Spider-Man fan. And I don't think I've got it. So Marvel Fanfare is what I used to collect. I don't know if you remember that at all. You had to get it direct, and back in the day, Marvel had a subscription service, so you could get the comic books delivered right to the house. So that's what I did, and what I loved about Marvel Fanfare is it was heavy gloss paper, so the colors really popped.
yeah,
And they were self-contained stories, usually two-part. So one issue and then the conclusion. So, looking back, I've got like Black Widow episodes. I have Doctor Strange, and the opening one is iconic because it's a pterodactyl with Spider-Man in its claws flying over the Savage Land with Kazar. So,
sounds familiar.
yeah, it was an epic cover back in the day. Marvel Fanfare was like the premium mag. They don't really have that much of the value like back then.
Yeah.
What late 90s? I think that one issue number 1 was $90. I don't know that it even has that value nowadays, but that I had it. I got it signed, I think, and I've got it, in cases CGC, and it's just a great cover. So.
Yeah, I remember when McFarlane took over Spider-Man. Remember, it was Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
He was sitting on the web with the fingers in the webs.
Yes.
And then Venom was in it too. Yeah, those are the good old years.
Great.
I don't know what it's like nowadays, but yeah, back in the 90s.
Comics, I haven't done it recently, but I will absolutely still love to go into a comic book store, pick some up. I finished off my X-Men collection. Is probably one of the more recent ones that I did because I always wanted the full series of the X-Men #1, and when I had bought it, I only had like one of the covers. I think it was cover C is what I had. So that was one of my big priorities to complete the entire montage there.
Oh, yeah, I had those. Man, you know what? All 3 of them. The Jim Lee. Yeah, I had all 4. Yeah, I had all 4 of them. Yeah.
There's a 5th one.
Was there a 5th one?
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, wait. Oh, hold on one second. You deserve the 5th one. I got it in the front of the theater. So
I had all of those. Yeah. You know what? I think what year? I don't forget what year it was, but I had several boxes of comics. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And here's the difference. So when you get it here, the difference between the 2 editions.
I had the one on your left, not the one with the red lettering.
So so the one here with the green, it actually has the entire fold out of the entire picture. So if you open up the cover, it opens up. So that's what's kind of cool about that one.
Yeah. Primetime Jim Lee back then.
So good.
Yeah,
So good.
prime Jim Lee.
His DC stuff I got just for the cover art. I have one of this Superman Spider-Man, and it has one of my favorite of all time pages in there because it has Bruce Wayne talking about Superman and about the tragedy that he faced, about Krypton exploding, about all this adversity and how he's overcome it. And then in the same thing, it alternates with Clark Kent talking about everything Batman has had to overcome. And the two, they're juxtaposed so beautifully. It's just great. I actually want to blow it up, and I want to put it on my theater door.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, I remember I had this. Remember the whole Dark Knight series from what's his face, Frank Miller, but it came in a leather bound book.
really,
Yeah, it was really cool. I had all these comic books. I think I left them at. I lived in Pennsylvania with a girl at the time, and I think I left everything when I moved out. I think we broke up, and I just like I'm leaving. I'm driving back to New York, and I just left everything there.
dude.
All those comics you have back there, I had them. I had them all. I had all the first McFarlane stuff, all back in the '90s, early 1990s. Yeah.
The Todd McFarlane stuff is amazing. You know, some of these iconic artists, and I remember, who was it? And when an artist would move, the comic would shift. So back in the late '80s, Daredevil was like one of the best written comics that
Yep.
Marvel had, right? And then there was a shift to the Hulk. So I kind of remember all these vignettes where the comic book of a particular character was just elevated between the story writing and the artwork, and made a big difference. Lots of, again, it's all about the themes in comics to me. And I don't think people get the potential of what you can really do with comics. Did you know there's I have to look up the title. There's one of, I think it's a journalist who has written a book to argue that the comic book is actually the American epic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think I heard
it's
that.
a fascinating argument when you start to think through it about, going from innocence to experience. What are some of the values that go along with these heroic elements, the adventures? It's almost Odysseus style. It's a fascinating argument, frankly.
Speaking of Daredevil, have you watched the shows?
So I've seen most of the first episode. I have to sit back and watch it. I'm so glad it's back on TV.
Yeah.
Powerful. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but talk about unexpected in the first episode. What happens?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Okay.
Daisy, it's been out for 2 weeks now. Come on, you can't spoil it. Been over a couple weeks.
You never know, but it's so good to see Daredevil back. I think Daredevil has so much potential, and it would be great to see Daredevil on the big screen.
Yeah, probably next year. They'll probably give him a cameo.
And if you do,
short
you have the
cameo.
potential to redo Elektra, right? Or to a fuller capacity. There's so much you can do with the Hell's Kitchen environment.
Well, she was in season 2?
She was in season 2, yeah.
Season 2, yeah. Right.
Yep. And I thought about it. I was actually in Hell's Kitchen last night. I had dinner with some dear friends, and we were in Hell's Kitchen and had the best Thai food I've ever had.
Really?
Ever. Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. One of my friends is an amazing, one of the single best restaurant connoisseurs. So we're just at the point where, like, okay, Mark, you figure out where we're going to go for dinner. He picks it, and last night was spectacular.
My mom's Thai, so I'm always like, Thai food again.
This was next level. This was like homemade, and it's apparently from a specific part. Back to comics. I kind of liked it. Aeon Flux. It had its moments where it's not great, but I thought it was okay. actually, from what I
Yeah, it's
remember.
okay. Well, that was good. Is that really a comic or is that just an MTV
No, it was
show?
a comic from what I remember.
It was a comic?
I think so. Correct us if, but that's my impression, is that it was a comic. But I don't know which came first, the TV cartoon, or the comic, because it was an anime, if I'm not mistaken. Yes,
I just
no.
thought it was an MTV. I thought that was a
Gonna have to
MTV show.
look that one up, because I was not super geeked out in that, so I'm not the expert.
Let's see. Hey,
that.
Google, did Aeon Flux come out as a comic book or a TV show first?
According to Wikipedia, Eon Flux, an American avant-garde science fiction adventure animated television series, aired on MTV from November 30th,
There you go.
MTV.
There you go.
1995, with a later film, comic book, and video game adaptation.
Okay, so MTV
go.
first.
There you go.
Comic then anime cartoon? Oh, somebody who's lying here? Anonymous advice or is Google lying?
I don't know. Somebody's gonna keep us right on this one.
I mean, I like the movie too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that 4K. Oh, we were talking about Electric State is coming out tonight. Netflix. You have Netflix, right?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I believe it's based on a book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
so it's
it-
with
Is it
Chris,
good?
with Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown.
Wait, but is this the one that's like so horrible they buried it?
No, this is like I gotta bury this.
Wait a minute. Are you sure? There was something. Okay. Electric State?
Yeah.
2025 film. What? I haven't seen this, dude.
Well, you ever seen the trailer? The trailer looks good. I think it's gonna be a good movie.
All right, so something to fire up for tonight. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna watch it tonight?
I don't know. I'm gonna do something tonight. I have to just have a little bit of time in the theater, because when do I get my free time? Is middle of the night. 10 o'clock at night. So
Oh.
I got to do something.
Aeon Flux was a ripoff of Ghost in the Shell, the original anime. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
I haven't seen Ghost in the Shell with what's her name?
Oh, Scarlet?
Yeah.
I liked it. I have it on 3D. 3D and Atmos. Best way to watch it.
Okay.
Always 3D.
When did
I
they
think-
stop putting Atmos cuts on the 3D discs?
I don't think Marvel has ever done it. I've always had to mix them together. Like you have to rip the movie, rip the 4K, rip the 3D, then you take the audio from one, mix it with the other one, adjust the delays. It's a whole process. Yeah. The whole thing.
See, I'm still the old-fashioned dude. I'm still working off the original discs.
Yeah. Well, I rip them and put them on the media player, the Zidu. You need to get yourself a Zidu.
You and I have to have that discussion, because I don't know what I need to rip them. Like, do I need a particular firmware and a particular
Yeah, you need to get yourself a drive and rip some movies. It takes about an hour.
my Oppos? I can't rip them from the Oppos and
No,
put them
you
on a
can't.
NAS.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. No. Or get yourself a Kaleidoscape.
All right, I'll have to reach out to the Kaleidoscape folks.
I'm sure they'll send you one.
Well, we'll see. Right now, I got the Valerian. Once the JVC arrives and I have a little bit, at least some stability in my projector situation, then maybe it'll be worth it to try to do that.
Wait, you said you didn't want the JVC?
No, I told you I've got another one that's already being shipped.
Oh.
That's why. Don't ship me. Then I have then I have two of the same model.
Wait. Oh, they're sending you seven. I wonder if. So they're going to send you a 700
So I'm getting the NZ700
from.
It's coming from another source for review.
Oh, so it's not coming from JVC.
So it's coming from a JVC part. It's coming from Dream Media. So I'm working on some content from the Dream Media guys.
That's from me then.
So it made its full round.
Wait, has it been shipped?
I think they're shipping it tomorrow.
Because mine is from Dream Media too.
Yeah, so it's a different model. That's why different unit. I would have two if you sent me that one.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Like, what am I going to do with two of them at that point?
Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for. They're supposed to give me the 800. I guess maybe the one you had is fixed.
Oh, that'd be nice. That was such a nice projector, wasn't it?
I mean, I still got the Sony.
But that's a light. The Sony's nice light cannon.
Aren't they the same? What's the lumens on the 800? 2700?
2700 lumens. Yeah.
Oh, it's 100 more than the Sony. Wait, no, the Sony's
Really?
2700 too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Sony Projector 8.
Very good.
You say, yeah, you didn't go to the thing they had the other day.
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not. I just couldn't swing it. And they wanted to have an event, so they had an event, that evening, and I'm like,
yeah.
I just can't make it in time, guys. So anyway, we can't talk about that. On
I don't even know what it is. So. It doesn't matter. We can speculate. No idea what it was.
It's all good, but it's exciting. Listen, it's a great time to be a home theater enthusiast. It's a great time to be a movie lover. But I just hope that some of these studios really right the ship and invest in good movies. I'm worried about what the after effect has been from the movie writers strike, right? The writer's strike, then the actors strike, all these things that have impacted stuff over the past couple of years, and we're starting to see some of the after effects of that.
I think if they would lengthen the physical media releases and the digital stream and the home releases, and go back to 3 months, 90 days, they're probably make more money at the box office because everybody just waits 30 days and it's on streaming. And it comes on Blu-ray like a month later.
Like, I still haven't seen Captain America. And, for me, what's frustrating is when I go
You
to
don't need
movies,
to see it. You don't need to see it.
it.
Nah, you're going to see it this weekend.
All right. And that's another one where let's see what they do, because this is true to the comic. Steve Rogers steps down. Falcon comes in and becomes Captain America. And that's been part of the DNA and the fabric of the Marvel comic universe for decades at this point. But what do you want to take that's the best aspects of these amazing storylines and bring it up on screen? You got to get the right people who love the genre, who really appreciate the characters and get it. That's the big thing, is they get it.
I feel like he doesn't look like Captain America, though. Like, he looks like Falcon.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that thing.
So, if Idris Elba...
Yeah. If he wasn't Deadshot, he would be perfect Captain America.
See, that... I do think it's a little bit of a cat, and nothing against him, right? Because he's an excellent actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Really good actor.
I can't put my finger on it. So I watched the Disney Plus series, and I like some of the themes and some of the things they brought out. So I'm looking forward to seeing it on the big screen. So
I think that, well, I don't want to say nothing, but yeah, he doesn't have the chiseled look. I think
that's a very accurate.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's that Idris Elba, somebody he's really got screen gravitas.
Yeah, he's got that command.
Right? Yeah.
He's got that. He's like a man, Not that Anthony Mackie doesn't have manliness to him, but Idris Elba just has that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Captain America.
He's got that suave as well. But again, the Falcon's a very different character. I didn't really follow the Falcon in the comics, so I'm not really the right person to comment.
Neither did I, but I mean, he looks fine as Falcon, though. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I could believe you're a sidekick. You're number 2 to Steve's number 1.
Great. Isn't it great? Anonymous advice. 300 was a comic first, but so was V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Right? All Frank Miller. So you've got this.
Yeah.
There's another. V for Vendetta was good too.
Yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. I feel like I probably wouldn't watch that again, though. It was like...
Natalie Portman was in it?
Yeah, Natalie
right?
Portman was in
Yep.
it. Yeah, and Agent Smith. I haven't seen it in a while actually. It was good. It's good.
Yeah, it's not something I would watch
Yeah,
over and over again,
yeah.
if you will.
Political type of thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
very Frank Miller ish in that regard.
Yeah, like I would watch Winter Soldier more than first before I would
Yeah,
watch
I agree.
V. I liked Watchmen too. Watchmen was good.
I liked Watchmen as
I liked
well.
Watchmen.
I know it gets panned a lot. I have the director's cut.
Yeah,
So, yes, that's a little bit
I think
obviously different.
3 hour version, 3.5 hour version with the cartoon.
Yes.
Mhm.
And did you see on Max, they've now come out with the frame by frame comic edition. So it's in 2
Oh yeah.
parts. Yeah. And it's obviously it has it that it's more extended and truer to the comic. That's another one, right? Where Watchmen was so groundbreaking in some of the things that it brought out. And it touches upon some of these like Civil War type themes. It has these social things about the unbridled power and how that can be again weaponized, and the apathy that the powerful can have towards the average person.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, right?
He did
Dr.
change.
Manhattan
He did change the end with the big octopus though.
with the
Was it-
Ozymandias.
Yeah. Was it an octopus? It was like a space octopus or something.
Yeah. I now you're challenging my memory. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't have Watchmen of all things. I don't have the comic. It's crazy.
Oh, you don't have the comic?
I don't.
I mean, I've only read it like once or twice as a kid. I just remember there. I was like, "Why isn't there an octopus at the end of this movie?" I was like, "There's no octopus in the movie, but there is in the comic. I know that."
I have these vivid imaginations of walking through the mall, and you know how you'd have the kiosks, the magazine kiosks in the mall. I don't know if that was your experience. It was for me. And there was Watchmen and Dark Knight, and then you had like Dark Horse comics, Image Comics, and I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So, but I didn't pick up the first few issues. I have like issue 6, something like that.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
Barnes
right.
and Noble, right in the door there. Right in the door, glass door. In the
Yep,
top
right on the
rack.
left
Yep.
is where the comics were. That's where I would pick up and read the Star Wars. And I didn't buy Star Wars #1. I didn't buy G.I. Joe #1, but I did get my Transformers. All these things you kind of look back and going, it's great.
No money. No money back there. Mom,
They were
can I
only
get,
65 cents or 75 cents at that point.
Mom, can I get $5 to go to the mall? What? Did you do the dishes? What? No.
Anonymous Advice is coming up with some big ones here with Judge Dredd and the Punisher and what have you.
The Punisher. I liked Punisher Warzone with Ray Stevenson and what's his name? The puzzle. Who's the puzzle face? Jigsaw.
Ooh, I've seen them all, but I saw them once and I haven't rewatched them.
Yeah, I think I saw that once too. But he was cool. He was like big burly Punisher, and then the skinny Thomas Jane was the year before that, or the version before that.
Yeah, because they changed the actor, right?
Yeah, it was like
I
Dolph
don't remember. Did they
Lundgren.
reboot it? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Dolph Lundgren. I wish they would have gave him the skull shirt, but they gave him the. I think they had a skull on his knife when he was in sewer or something like that. I was like, oh, is that what we're gonna get? His skull on his knife? I was like, oh man, because he was cool. He was cool too back then. I think it came out during the '90s, during the Captain America Batman days. But I think it was like
right.
I think it was straight to VHS or something.
Was it? I
don't think-
remember. Oh boy. I think I saw it in the movies. I think I did.
Did you?
I think so. I think so.
Maybe it did.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering, as they say.
It was rated R, so I probably had to sneak in. So maybe that's why I didn't see it.
I was of age back then. Saw Aliens in the movie theater. That was my favorite. That was great. That was a
Did I
turning
see
point.
Alien? Nah, I saw that
Oh
in
my
VHS.
gosh. That was so
That's
much
on
fun, that
VHS.
movie. Game over, man.
Game over. The Romulus. Did you see Romulus? You had to have
I've
seen
not
Romulus.
yet seen Romulus. I've not.
Come on,
So I
Taylor.
gotta
It's
get caught up.
basically it's like Aliens, very
But
much.
so explain to me the timeline, right? So you have aliens, and then we get Prometheus. So is Romulus before or after Prometheus? That's what
I
I
think
can't.
it's after. I think it's after Aliens.
I think you're right.
I think it's
Or-
after Aliens. And I
Which
think
is the
Prometheus
one where
before
they're-
Alien.
Which is the one that basically sets up aliens with the crew? Is it Romulus?
Is Romulus after Alien? Maybe it
know.
is.
Don't know.
No, wait. There was okay. So what's his face is in the movie? Oh, it would have to be after the first Alien.
So it's between the first two, and it explains how
Yeah,
they colonize the planet.
I don't think they do that.
Okay, or how they get there.
No, yeah, it would have to be after Alien and before Aliens.
Okay, Newt.
Because what's his face is in the movie. I don't want to tell you who, but somebody from Alien is in Romulus. Is in Romulus.
Really? Okay.
Well, technically, he's not the same character though. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. I would think. Okay, yeah. So I think it's between those two.
Well, you always
mean,
have the
obviously-
synthetic life form, right? The synthetic who always plays a role. So I'm assuming that has to play there too.
Yeah, maybe possibly. No spoilers. Then Prometheus is before Alien.
Okay.
I think that's how it works. Yeah, it would have to be.
Oh, I haven't seen it, man. I mean, I haven't processed the timeline now. So, but you're probably right, because then that explains how you have what do they call it? Sporogenesis.
Yep. Yeah, because they that's in Romulus.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's before. That's before.
So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, right?
That
As
almost made
someone
my
who-
list.
As someone who read the comics and then saw like the Cowabunga dude and the sillier manifestation, I couldn't process that. It's like what you see in the comics is intense
Oh yeah,
for the turtles, and it's not the way it kind of evolved in some of these ways, like a silly slapstick.
Yeah.
So I never really got into it.
They are supposed to be making what is it called? Turtles Ronin? Is that what it's called? Like it's like the dark version of the Turtles?
So
believe-
truer to the original comic, or what do you?
Yeah. Ronin movie. When is this coming out? The Last Ronin? Or maybe it's not coming out? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was announced that like
Oh, interesting. Official live action.
yeah.
So the 5-issue comic book by IDW.
R-rated. It's R-rated.
Okay. I don't know. Like some of this stuff bothers me when they make it R-rated. It doesn't necessarily have to be. You don't have to get overly gore. There's better things that you can do with the screen time. Because the fact of the matter is kids are going to be drawn to this stuff, and I think we could set a better example. But that's just me.
Oh, well, I guess the book was R-rated, so people want it. No more Michael Bay. Did Michael Bay do it? No more of the Michael Bay Teenage Turtles. I mean, I like those movies. I thought the design was really cool with the original Turtle movies, and they look great in 3D too. By the way,
See, you got to educate me on the
look great
3D
3D.
stuff, man. You got to tell me which disc to get. Oh, I ordered Avatar: Way of Water on eBay.
yeah.
Did I tell you what happened? I ordered the 3D disc. Okay, so I'm like, oh great, here it is. I missed it in store. Dude sends me bootleg, home inkjet printed on a thing this big.
Oh
Right?
my God.
So you send it to me. Like I'm not gonna know. It's a bootleg. Okay. So right away, deny the charge. Go to eBay. All right, this is a copyright violation. I want my money
God.
back. Give the guy negative feedback. How dare you? It just bothered me so much.
Yeah. Wait, they don't have them at the store anymore?
Not that I'm aware. And where are you going to buy it? You go to Amazon and it's ridiculously expensive.
Shoot, I feel like I'm pretty sure I've got a copy of it somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I bought it.
It's hard now to find this stuff. Like I had to get Force Awakens. I had bought the 3D version. I never opened it. I returned it. So now I'm like, okay, I got the Valerian now. Let me test out some great 3D stuff now that I can play it again. And Force Awakens wasn't bad in 3D.
Yeah, it was good. I have that.
I was
What to do?
disappointed by Tron in 3D. Tron Legacy.
Yeah, Tron Legacy. Really? You didn't like that in 3D? I thought it was okay.
It wasn't what I was expecting. It's not. It's more subtle, I guess.
I'll
But
have to watch it again.
it just didn't really have that. Excuse me, that sense of depth and impact that I was hoping for.
On the 800?
On the Valerian.
Oh,
is
the
where
Valerian.
I watched it. Yeah, because I didn't have the 3D adapter on the JVC.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't been able to
Oh.
watch 3D in a long time.
Wait, so the Valerian, your 3D Valerian is working?
No problem. I have
Huh.
no problem playing 3D on the Valerian, and it's bright.
It wasn't-
Such a nice picture.
It wasn't working on mine.
Really?
No, I think because I did the review and I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't work on mine. And then they emailed me a couple days afterward and said they were putting out a firmware to address it.
Okay. Listen, they took. I got to give Valerian credit. They really took good care of making sure they sent me a good working unit, and they also pre-calibrated it before sending it to me. So I have no complaints whatsoever about how they treated me, and I was pretty forthright with them. I said, "Listen, I'm hearing things about the Valerian. I'd be interested in having a sample to kind of kick the tires on, and I'm not guaranteeing that we'll pick it up for review, but I really just want to explore and see if the hype is legit or not." And I'm very impressed with it. So yeah, I'm gonna do the review on it.
Where did you mount that? It's like right in the middle of your
Oh.
row 1 and 2?
So they're supposed to be sending me. They didn't have the ceiling mount. So supposedly they were going to send it to me. I'm still waiting for it. But right now I have it on a tripod. I have it on a camera tripod.
Yeah, the camera.
So it works.
Yeah.
But it'd be nicer if I could ceiling mount it. It would solve some of my issues. But the
Yeah.
picture's good. I figured out how to make it stretch to my 2.4 automatically, and it does a darn good job. I had to do some other adjustments with Dolby Vision. I had to disable it on the Oppo if I want to watch a disc. Otherwise, I was getting the 2.4 shrunk within 2.4, and I couldn't zoom it because Dolby Vision locks out all the controls. So I had to disable Dolby Vision, go to HDR10, and then let the Valerian do the tone mapping. It does a good job. No complaints.
Yeah, it does a really good job.
Yep.
Yeah, surprisingly. Okay. Yeah, when I had it, I had to like put it on some boxes in the second row in the middle seat. I was like, oh, this is just not gonna work.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have a standard way of mounting it because it's a lifestyle projector. You kind of get the 1/4-inch thread, so it fits on everything that a camera will thread in on, but it's a whole lot heavier than that.
I guess the Max is gonna have optical zoom
Yes,
and shift.
I think the Max is a very dangerous product for the industry.
4,000 lumens.
It's going to disrupt that lower end.
Yeah.
It really is. If they deliver what they're planning to do. So, anonymous advice, you want something to play 3D, look at the Valerian. It is really a nice product. You're using DLP glasses, not the active RF. Like you probably had the Panasonic plasma. If that's what I had too. I had the Panasonic plasma with the and I still have the active glasses. But yeah, the DLP glasses are fine. It's bright enough and it does the job just fine. I got the AWOL glasses.
I still, it's still weird. Like all these big JVC and Sony, they're so big and they're putting out 2700 lumens. But then you have a little Valerian that's going to put out 4000 lumens. It's like, yo, how?
I saw your segment with Phil Jones.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, isn't it? But it's the fact that it's a single, it's a single DLP, single color filter. So,
but then you get the, get the little lens on there compared to like the big 100mm lenses on the Sony and JVC. It's like, I mean, clearly it makes a huge difference for cameras.
Yeah.
But then they're shrinking it down and putting it on this little projector. It's like,
what is good enough? That's the whole thing. And I don't know how much you got a chance to fool around with the settings, but if I turn off the AI, is it the AI or sharpness?
Yeah.
I get banding on the
projector.
Do you? Yeah.
On the Valerian?
Yes, I see banding. I'm trying to remember now what that setting is, if it's like the extra sharpness or enhanced something or other. And
that's weird.
Boom, I turn it on, it totally goes away. It's unbelievable.
That's weird.
So I'm impressed with the Valerian. I have also their 120-inch screen, the Fresnel ambient light rejecting, but right now I've just been playing it on the Stewart film screen, the Studio Tech 130 G4, because it's acoustically transparent. The other one's not.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't put it together, so we'll figure it out.
They're a pain to put together. I mean, if you got a white screen, then that's the way to do it.
The difference is I have to once I put the screen together, I want to put it together and I want to put it up against the Stewart, the Studio Tech. My sense is that the Studio Tech, it's ultimately like a 1.2, right? I think the projector really wants a less than a 1 gain for optimal performance, because that'll bring the black level down a bit, because I'm really not getting anywhere close to the JVC blacks. But in mixed content, you don't notice it.
Yeah.
It's only in dark scenes where you really notice it, and they do a good job tone mapping that out. And the EBL just blows out some of the spectral highlights for me. So and it's like all these little things where if you've had one of the higher end projectors, you pick up on right away that's a difference.
Yeah. There's a few videos there like, oh, it's better than the JVC. I was like, what?
It's not better than the JVC.
I was like, what world are you guys talking about? It's better than JVC.
So, all right, whatever. If you enjoy it, like, that's the end of the day. What I don't like is we all get very opinionated sometimes. And especially when it comes to a forum, it becomes an absolute. Man, it's in your room. It's in your space. Do you enjoy it? And nothing more to say. And I think what value we can provide, whatever you want to call it, reviewers, influencers, is to say, this is how I feel about the product. Here's how I can describe it. And does that speak to you? That's what I think makes a good review or a good reviewer, as opposed to someone saying it's black and white, this or that. You know what I mean? So
this is when something is like a JVC or whatever it is, receiver or whatever, and then something else new comes out and it's like a quarter of the cost or whatever. It's like, this is a game changer, guys.
Yep.
No need to spend all this money because it's no good. And then you get it. I mean, I've seen it many times coming through my door trying to review something. I'm like, this is not good. I mean, this is good for the price. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. But it's not like, now, if we're comparing like NZ700 to like the NZ800, there's some marginal things there. Is it really worth another 10 grand?
Right.
So it means a little bit brighter. Sure, it doesn't have the 8K, but everything else is pretty darn close.
I'm excited to get the 700 in, frankly. I'm starting to wonder if, to me, the NZ8 was the Goldilocks of the line. I'm wondering if it's now the NZ700. That's the sort of Goldilocks projector in the JVC lineup.
In our email correspondence with JVC, Zach is tagged in those emails. So you might still be getting mine. Well, now what if you? Because you said
No, I'm
tell-
definitely not getting yours. I'm definitely not
You
getting
sure?
yours.
Okay, okay.
I'm getting it from. Listen, if you want to get rid of it and you want to bring it to my house, I don't know where I'll put it. I'll do double projector. Can you imagine?
Oh, you could. You could double up your
Could,
brightness. That's how? What's the lumens? 2200?
20. Wait, no, for the
700?
700, it's 23 or.
Was it 23?
Well, now we're gonna look it up.
You could stack them side by side, man. You would get
Right.
twice the brightness. That'd be pretty sick. You get 5,000 lumens.
I've never set that up. I should talk to, because I know Matt Pose tried to do something at one point similar.
Isn't-
2300 lumens.
23.
Yep.
Isn't there a setting in it where you can?
Is there?
There's a setting in JVCs, right, where it's like you can.
I've never had two projectors to
Yeah.
fool with it. I didn't know that.
I think it's in the installation area. It's like you can.
Stack 'em.
Unless I'm thinking about that, it does something else, but I don't know what else it would do.
Hmm.
It was like you can assign projector 1, projector 2, or something. I was like, I don't know what that means, but I just assume it was like you can just stack them. I think.
Well, that's a whole lot of. That's a lot of money to spend for on two projectors.
I think you would need a screen for that. I think if you had two projectors, you can do. You would need a polarized screen. I think to do glasses, just regular 3D.
Yep.
But I'm not sure how you set that up though. I think you do need a special screen though.
So wait, with the JVC, they have the RF glasses, correct?
No, you know how
RF.
they do 3D at the theaters. They have like two projectors, one for each eye.
Oh, I didn't know that. I learned
So
something.
I would assume you can do that if you have two at your house.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But I think you might need a polarized screen
Okay.
to work with the theater glasses.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I misunderstood. Got it.
Yep. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong. I don't know. But all right, let's log off here.
Always great to hang out and we'll chat. So hey, this was fun. This was a challenging one tonight.